Good morning. My name is Brett Burning, and I'm an employment and training specialist with the City College of San Francisco Career Services Office. And I'm really happy that you all could join us this morning. It's a great group, and we're going to get started. I'll be first starting by sharing my slides, and we'll have a few different presentations this morning, talk about kind of those key skills and tasks and ways to get into the industry in education and child development, and connect you to employment opportunities. So if you're in the wrong workshop, now's your chance to go. But we're so happy you're here today to join us for the Career Pathways, Early Childhood Education, K-12, Special Education, and After School Care. And again, we want to appreciate and thank the Teach for the Bay organizers for putting on this conference and making this accessible to you all. So thanks again for joining us. And we're going to go into a bit of kind of housekeeping. Welcome everyone. If you haven't already, please enter your name in the chat, your email, where you're calling in from, and what brings you here. I'm so glad that so many of you have joined us this morning. And if you are, if this is your first time, good. I'm going to go ahead and mute people if you have some background noise. Speaking of Zoom reminders, we are in a big group of folks across the Bay and San Francisco, especially. So if you have some background noise, go ahead and please mute yourself. We encourage you to show your screen so we can see who you are and we can get to know you. And this is an opportunity for you to engage directly with our employers, and I'll be presenting them in a moment. So in review of the workshop, I'll be highlighting some things about our Career Services Office and tools for student success. We'll be talking about the employers who are here today. Very excited to present them and for them to share kind of what they are about. We'll be having a moment to do breakout sessions as well, so you can ask questions directly to those employers that you'd like to connect with. And so lots of time for that. And then we'll wrap up at the end with final Q&A and conclusion. One member joined earlier and asked about if you'll be getting credit for attending this event. Yes, you will. I can send out a follow-up email after the event, and you'll be receiving a certificate of attendance with your name on it and the workshop that you attended, and I'll show what that looks like in the next slide. And at the end, if you wouldn't mind, I'll be sending out through the chat a conference evaluation. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with us your thoughts about how it went today, your impressions overall, and areas that we might be able to improve on in the future. So this is the certificate of attendance. This is what it would look like. You'll be getting an email from me, right? So after probably today, before the end of the day, I'll send everyone who attended today an email and have this. And if you'd like to receive one, let me know. You'll have to respond to me. I'll probably do it on a case-by-case basis rather than fill out it for every single person. But I will do this for you. And this is about a 2-hour total presentation. So you'll get credit for 2 hours of attendance for today. We may not go the full 2 hours, but at least you'll have earned that. Okay. So I mentioned kind of who I am. I'm not up there right now, but City College of San Francisco is one of the organizers of the conference. And again, I'm representing from the Career Services team, but mostly what my job is today to introduce our employers from San Francisco Public Unified School District, CAIO, Mission Graduates, Kaiming, Head Start, and Bright Horizons. So I would like for them to introduce themselves now in that order. So Gilead, Michelle, Diana and Evan, Sabrina and Stacy from Kaiming, and Melissa and Christina from Bright Horizons.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gilead, and I'm a recruiter with San Francisco Unified School District. And I look forward to presenting to you all on certificated opportunities and early education opportunities that we have available.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Wynn. I'm from CAIO. We are an applied behavior analysis ABA agency here in the Bay Area. We serve kiddos with autism nationwide, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you more about our opportunities as well.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Diana Caracosa-Jacobs. I'm a senior program director with Mission Graduates. My co-leader today, Evan, had an emergency, but excited to be here telling you all about the opportunities we have working with our K-5 elementary schools and after.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sabrina. I'm the HR manager with Kaiming Head Start. I'm also here with a few more team members here, Stacy, Jill, and Gabby, supporting me in this process. If you prefer to type in Chinese or Spanish, we're able to support you that as well. So feel free to type in your preferred language. We are a nonprofit agency in San Francisco serving, children from low income backgrounds. Really good to see everyone today.
Good morning, I'm Melissa from Bright Horizons. I'm a talent acquisition partner and I support hiring for San Francisco and the Sacramento area. I'm here with Christina and she'll introduce herself as well, but we're really excited to tell you a little bit more about the opportunities that we have available at Bright Horizons.
Hello, I'm Christina, and I also work for Bright Horizons as a talent acquisition partner, and I cover our openings in the Peninsula, the South Bay, and the North Bay. So like Melissa had said, we're excited to share opportunities that we have and some benefits and perks for working with our company.
All right, can we give a round of applause by way of reactions? I'm just going to give a quick yay. Thank you, everyone. Great to have you. I know this is, we're doing a Zoom event and we can be as imaginative as possible. Really appreciate that. Hearts are good. Anything you'd like to share is wonderful, just to add some flair and engagement for today's event. So the next thing I'll do is I'll go back and I'll kind of share where we were last. So again, we just heard from SFUSD, CAIO, Mission Graduates, Kaiming, and Bright Horizons. And that's who they are. Should have had that on before. So Melissa and Christina from Bright Horizons, Diana and Evan couldn't make it today, but Diana from Mission Graduates, Sabrina and her team from Kaiming, Gilead from SFUSD, and Michelle from CAIO. So thanks for joining us. Excited to get into it. And so I'd like to begin by sharing a quick video on career services here at City College. But before I do that, I need to modify my settings here, I believe. One moment. What happened to that? There we go. And thumbs up if you can hear this when it starts.
Have you thought about your career plans lately? Are you looking for a job, internship, or volunteer opportunity? Career Services is here for all CCSF students, helping you to explore, prepare, and advance your college and career success. We cover a range of careers and industries, including arts, media, and entertainment, building, construction trades, and transportation, education, public and social services, healthcare, information technology and computer science, and business and finance. Employment specialists can offer you a variety of resources and assistance for career planning, job search, internships, and employment, including resume and cover letter support, mock interviewing, workshops and events, and much more. For more information and to meet with an employment specialist, please visit www.ccsf.edu/career-services. You can also follow us on social media by visiting Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you.
All right, what fun. And I know some of you are not students at City College of San Francisco. Others are coming from across the Bay. I recognize some from Pasadena College, Fresno, UC Berkeley even. So I want to just say thanks for joining us. I hope this content will be useful for all of you as well. But in summary, kind of what we're trying to accomplish and support students here, any career services or career counseling program on college campuses is helping you engage with employers, bringing in employers like we are right now, talking about opportunities in the field of education and child development, assisting with job search, applying to these jobs, referring you to hiring managers, and then getting into the nitty-gritty of job readiness. So preparing and supporting you with your resume, your cover letter, interviewing practice, building out a LinkedIn profile, and then looking at your transferable skills from other jobs that you may have had and how that can be applied to the field of education and child development. So I'm going to finish my portion of the presentation by talking about a career coach, which is a tool that we have here at City College of San Francisco. And it's one that is accessible to all participants today. The majority of the tool will allow you to take a career assessment, look at the careers that we have here, around the region here locally, and the associated programs that we offer at City College, and wages that are coordinated to those positions, employment trends, and live jobs. So the last thing here, resume builder, is something that you have to create a profile to enable. But first, I'd like just to show you what this is like, just so you have a sense of what you can do, both as a City College student and as a participant today. I'm going to drop this in the chat, and so you can kind of see it, play along with me if you'd like. But as I was sharing before, you can take a career assessment, which is either a 6-question or 60-question assessment that tells you more about your preferences, your background, how your skills or interests would align to a potential career. You can browse careers, browse programs, building a resume. Okay, for the sake of today and for the time, what I really just want to do is give this example of the teacher assistant. So teacher assistant is just one of the dozens or hundreds of different job titles in this area under the field of education and child development. So you can see the overview talking about the median salary, what you could earn, right? The average, the annual openings, and what are these available programs that we have to offer at City College of San Francisco? All the certificate degrees, the degrees for transfer, okay? And more information about kind of what are these daily tasks. Now, I think this is interesting because this is what you should be expecting to do and to know when you get the job as a teacher assistant, especially. Let's see, observe students' performance and record relevant data to assess progress, right? So you start to understand what is it that you'll be held responsible for and how that's relevant to the job overall. This gives you a sense of what to prepare for in the interview also.
Hey
there.
Hey.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. But thanks for the engagement. For those who have questions, if you could ask in the chat to start, we'll have a moment to talk more about that also. And then other skills that employers are asking for, hard skills, right? This is great. So when Michelle from CAIO talks about special education and autism therapy, she can get into that. What are those specific skills? Individualized education programs, right? So, and then additional soft skills, of course, having to support children and youth in those ways. And now the last thing I want to share here, you can go and do this yourself. You have this link and it's live. You can explore this as much as you'd like. Live job postings will take you directly to the positions that are available now from job boards across the country, right? And so there are literally over 100 million different job postings sourced from 50 to 60 of the biggest, most utilized job boards, and that's where all this data is coming from. Okay. And the last thing I want to share with you here is, now to do this, you have to create a login. All right. But I have this already. And what I want to share with you just really briefly is create a resume. For those of you who need a little bit more assistance creating a resume, formatting a resume, understanding what those skills or tasks you should be highlighting are, and wanting just to plug it in without having to worry, this is the best tool for that. And you can add your contact information, some of your work experience. I've already added some hypothetical here. Look, Gilead, I'm a teacher assistant with SFUSD. I've made it. What does that mean? How many, what are those tasks or skills? Larkin Street Youth Services, right? So just to get a sense of what this looks like. Extra, I'm also a kindergarten teacher at SFUSD. Maintain accurate, complete student records. Okay, so again, all those skills and tasks you can add, and it helps kind of you do it for you. So again, I just want to give a quick shout out for this tool, Career Coach, that it's something that gives you the ability to add the skills, the task, the sense of what is in demand, who's asking for these skills, and helping you prepare for the interview by kind of knowing ahead of time what are those responsibilities and requirements of the job. So now I'll just go back into these slides, and I think we're back to transition. Okay, and I didn't mention this, but Career Coach is powered by MC and Burning Glass, and that is an organization that is responsible for kind of collecting all this labor market data, right? So they're leaders in organizing and analyzing labor market data, which tells us that this is true, accurate, timely information. Wonderful. So now we've come to the point where we're going to do our, I think I should expand on this, I will in a moment, our employer presentation. So I think we're going to do in that order, if I have my slides ready. So if you need to take a moment to stand up and stretch, grab a glass of water, we're gonna give ourselves about 1 minute here before we transition into these slides. So Gilead from San Francisco Unified School District will begin, right? And then we'll jump into Cayo and Mission Graduates, and then Kaiming and Bright Horizons. So we're gonna give ourselves 1 minute while I grab these slides, and we can jump into it. And any questions come through, please let us know in the chat. How's everybody feeling? You ready for this? All right, excellent. So we're going to jump in. I love seeing Michelle's reaction. I'm like, okay, here goes Brett again. There are 76 of us on a Friday morning. How wonderful is this? Hope you're getting something out of this. We're going to jump into it and hear from Gilead. You're all ready, Gilead?
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Excellent. I'm going to share screen and give you the slides. Can you all see that?
I think, can it be put into presentation mode? I think.
Yeah. Let me change my settings really fast.
But I can get started as Brett, you're working on that. So once again, everyone, my name is Gilead Gabre, and I'm a recruiter with the San Francisco Unified School District. I'm really excited to be in this session here with you all today and kind of speak to you about two different areas. I guess one, I really wanted to touch on just careers in K-12 public education. While that might not be an immediate kind of option for many of you in this session, I do believe that there's probably a decent amount of people in here who maybe have a long-term or future goal of being like a teacher in a public school. So the majority of my presentation will kind of speak to those types of requirements, or qualifications and expectations. But we also do have early childhood education centers throughout the district. And I'll also kind of speak to how you can qualify for those types of positions. which generally usually require a child development teacher permit, which you should be able to obtain through your current city college. Okay, and so the first thing that we always like to start off with when speaking to any kind of group of individuals who are interested in opportunities with SFUSD is we like to share our mission and vision. And so our mission is that every day we provide each and every student the quality instruction and equitable support required to thrive in the 21st century. And our vision is that every student who attends SFUSD schools will discover their spark along with their strong sense of self and purpose. Each and every student will graduate from high school ready for college and career and equipped with the skills, capabilities, and dispositions outlined in SFUSD's graduate profile. And then with that, we just like to share a little bit of some high-level data just to kind of give you a view, especially those of you who are not located in San Francisco, just of how large and profound our school district is. And so we have 130 total schools. As you can see, we have 64 elementary schools, we have 13 middle schools, 14 high schools, we have 12 early education sites, and then a few other types of schools. And then we serve just under 55,000 students. And you can see the kind of range of the different groups down there. So we're the 7th largest school district in the state of California, and it pretty much encompasses the entire city and county of San Francisco. Okay, just a little bit more data. We're also a very multicultural school district. There's over 44 languages that are spoken in SFUSD, and so encompasses people and groups from all around the world. A couple areas that I'd like to specifically highlight are 24% of our students are English language learners, 14% of our students receive special education services, and 51% of our students come from socioeconomically disadvantaged backgrounds. And so sometimes people tend to think that San Francisco is this very wealthy and prestigious city, and I'm not saying it isn't, but there is a significant part of the population that comes from below means. And you can see that it represents just over half of our student body. And then just down below, we have just under 10,000 total employees. And so it takes a lot of work and collaboration between many different groups to make sure that we're providing equitable services to all of our students. And we'll go to the next slide. Okay, and another thing I'd like to share, we have 5 core values that kind of drive our daily work, and we hope that anyone who's interested in also joining our district would also have these resonate with themselves. And so first off, we're always student-centered, where we put the students' needs first. Second, we're fearless, where we persist through challenges. Third, we're united, where we celebrate and build on each other's strengths. Social justice, where we stand with those most vulnerable in the community. And we are diversity-driven, where we respect and seek to understand each person. And so, as you can see, these strategically spell out SFUSD. Okay, and one more definition. I believe this is the last definition, but another kind of area that we hope that anyone who's interested in our district and would like to join us is that we have a very specific definition of equity and what it means for us and what it means for our students and families. And so I'm just going to read that for everyone. Our definition goes, the work of eliminating oppression, ending biases, and ensuring equally high outcomes for all participants through the creation of multicultural, multilingual, multi-ethnic, gender equitable, multiracial, and inclusive practices and conditions, removing the predictability of success or failure that currently correlates with any social or cultural factors. So just super important definition there. And we hope that everyone in this session understands that definition and feels that it's a proper definition to be used in order to make sure that each and every student is getting all of the services that they individually deserve. Go to the next slide. Brett, can we go to the next slide?
One more, Gilead.
Yeah, can we go to the next slide?
I'm putting them forward, but perhaps it's not. Oh, I see. I've paused. Resume share. Sorry about that. One moment, everyone. I got stalled on something there. Gilead. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
You see that?
Yes. Okay, so who are we looking for? We're looking for teachers and other credentialed professionals who want to work to make our Vision 2025 a reality. This is like a long-term vision we have for the district. There's 4 key areas in that vision. One of them involves delivering rigorous instruction to all of our students, being open to continuously learning and improving for yourselves, creating a culturally responsive classroom environment, and building meaningful connections with families in the community. Okay, programs and incentives, and just to kind of remind everyone, this is speaking to a full-time credentialed teacher. And so our starting salary for a new credentialed teacher with no prior experience is $63,458. This is someone who has a bachelor's degree and a California teaching credential. Starting salary for a non-credentialed teacher is $54,289. And this is someone who has a bachelor's degree and does not have a credential, but they're coming in on some sort of like temporary permit, temporary waiver. And we can go to the next slide. I plan to like share, I think Brett plans to share all this information with you after the event. And so I'm kind of going to skip over some chunks of information and try to just focus on highlighting certain areas. And so we have some equity-based incentives. And so anyone who comes in as a bilingual teacher or special education teacher is eligible for an additional $1,000 stipend per school year. And then any teacher who comes in to work at one of our high potential focus schools is eligible for an additional $2,000 stipend. Go to the next slide. Programs and benefits. We also have fully subsidized health benefits, as you can see listed there. It includes vision, dental, life insurance, and retirement, and additional features. Go to the next slide. Okay, so application process. So this is the part that I want to touch on that I think more of you can immediately qualify for. And so we have various areas in the early education space that I'm going to kind of touch on lightly. So we have early education paraeducators or early education paraeducator substitutes. So you would need 6 early childhood units, a high school diploma, the 3 vaccinations listed there, and an updated physical form. We also have year-round pre-K and OST teachers. These usually require a child development teacher permit or higher, preferably a site supervisor permit, 24 early childhood units, and 16 general education units. And then we also have short-term pre-K teachers. These do require a multiple subject teaching credential, and then also a child development teacher permit or the equivalent. So anyone interested, first step is to create your application on our website, careers.sfusd.edu. You're going to need to attach a resume, provide contact info for at least 2 references, and respond to 3 short answer questions. To the next slide. Okay, and then just general application requirements. This is kind of shifting. This is shifting in between the early education and certificated space. So the only part that will be different is the Bachelor of Arts degree that is required for the certificated positions, but not for the early education positions. So you'll need to show passage of basic skills. You also need to show proof of English learner authorization, passage of the CSET competency exams, and then the same instructions around completing the application on our careers website and providing a resume, contact info for your references, and responding to the short answer questions. So the next one. Okay, so just to kind of once again go over the application process, the first step is to apply online. We ask that you please take your time to answer the questions thoroughly and attach all required documents. Once your application is complete, it will undergo a rigorous and comprehensive screening process. Once your application has been screened, you'll be notified about your status via email. We ask that you please anticipate between a 1 to 3 week turnaround time for our screening team to complete the screening process. Once you pass screening, you'll be eligible for hire within SFUSD, and your application will become visible to school site administrators and central office departments. go to the next one. So this is the final slide. What you'll see here is this is a QR code and a direct link to our interest form. We have this interest form for people who have an interest in a future or current potential opportunity at SFUSD. What this is going to do is allow you to be placed on our internal mailing list, and then you'll receive communications around upcoming events, having job fairs, networking events, hiring events, any updates around like what are our current openings, what do we expect to open in the near future. So you'll receive stuff like our monthly newsletter, targeted communication. And so we highly recommend anyone in the space who is interested in SFUSD as a future potential employer to take a few minutes to fill this out. If you don't have a chance to do so now, I believe Brett should probably be sharing this slide deck with you after the event. And so hopefully you'll have a chance to click on it. It'll take maybe 5 minutes or less to fill out the form, so not too much time. And yeah, I believe that was all the slides that I had for today. Thank you. I think I went a little bit over time, but appreciate kind of the opportunity to speak with everyone and kind of speak a little bit about SFUSD today.
Thank you, Gilead. And I apologize for the technical challenges there for a moment. Wonderful. So let's give a round of applause. Yeah, hearts, thumbs up, anything you want to add. Thank you, Gilead, for that. And I believe our next presentation was Kayo. So I'm going to pull those up now.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett.
And I'll share screen. You all see that?
Yep. Thanks, Brett. Once again, I'm Michelle Nguyen. I'm here on behalf of Kayo. I'm the manager of campus and community partnerships. I have been with the team for 9 years. When I started 9 years ago, I actually started as a behavior therapist, having never heard about ABA, had no clue that this field even existed, really wish that I would have learned about it earlier. And that's why I absolutely love my current role, because now I get to be here and share this awesome opportunity with you. So on the next slide, if you go ahead, Brett, I'm going to show you like a 30-second clip that just gives a little bit of an overview of the BT, the behavior therapist position, and then I'll dive a little bit more into ABA and the role itself. There's a, in the middle there, oh, was it not playing, Brett?
1 second.
If not, it's no big deal. We can totally skip over it. Awesome. Thanks, Brett. So I just wanted to share, you can go to the next slide. Just wanted to share that as kind of an intro as to my overall presentation. I realize many of you may have never heard about applied behavior analysis, typically referred to as ABA. ABA is a science where we are really working on socially significant or changing socially significant behaviors. And so we're constantly using different types of strategies to decrease unwanted behaviors while working on really increasing desired skills. ABA there's a misconception that it's really only used for young children with autism. That's not the case. It can be used to improve workers' productivity, to increase the use of seatbelts, encourage weight loss, overall help smokers quit smoking, or in our case here at Kayo, we are working with children with autism. Throughout our sessions, we are working on skills such as communication, whether it is with a nonverbal kiddo, teaching them with their iPad how to communicate their wants and needs, or player social skills, teaching them independently how to take turns, or just independently, playing. Things that, a lot of our neurotypical children take for granted that they just, naturally learn. We also work on pre-academic and academic skills, and then daily living is a big one, independently getting dressed or brushing your teeth, or during COVID, wearing masks. So really, we are working on a totally large set of different types of programs that are all individualized to our kiddos. And the age ranges that we're working with primarily as young as 18 months all the way up to teens. But okay, next slide, please, Brett. So a little bit about the therapy itself is the where and who we here at CAIO want to be delivering our services in the client's natural environment. So whether that's their home setting or at school or a community-based location. In San Francisco, we actually have a handful of clients at San Francisco Unified. We really want to be in their natural environment, because let's say we're only working with a kiddo for 6 hours a week. We want the involvement of the other parents, or of the parent or other caregivers of the kiddo also working on those same programs. On behalf of the CAIO team, we have 3 levels of, kind of teams on the clinical side. Our direct line therapists are our behavior therapists. This is the entry-level position. This is, how you get started in the field, whether you have previous experience or are brand new to the field. We start our team members as BTs. From there, I'll talk a little bit more later, but we certify all of our behavior therapists to become registered behavior technicians. This certification takes place within the first 90 days of employment here at CAIO. We then also have our mid-level supervisors, our program supervisor position for those candidates enrolled in their master's coursework in order to become a BCBA. And then we have our BCBAs, those are our board certified behavior analysts, who are the ones actually designing the programs and mentoring our program supervisors and BTs. Next slide, please. So a little bit more about, what a session could look like is we want to be paired as fun. So when we show up at our kiddos location, we want them to be excited that we're there, and we want to make it as natural as possible and really incorporate our programs into play. All of our sessions are one-to-one, so one behavior therapist with one client. Like I mentioned, we combine, the naturalistic teaching with also some structured learning opportunities. I'm not going to show you on this, but if you're interested later, I have 2 videos to kind of outline the differences as to what they could look like. Really, naturalistic teaching can take place out in the environment. You're going for a walk, you're working on color identification with a kiddo. You can use objects that are, out in the environment to work on those colors. And then if you haven't noticed yet, we really make a point to individualize all of our sessions. We really want to, address each and every specific interest and needs of all of our clients. Our sessions overall are typically 3 hours in length. There are, of course, variances if we're providing school support or out in the community at camps. And then lastly, all of our team members do receive an iPad so that we're constantly collecting data, as we are a scientific and data driven science here. And then a couple unique aspects of the behavior technician or behavior therapist position is that you really do get to work in a variety of different settings and with a diverse set of clients. One of the things I love the most as being a BT is that no 2 clients or sessions or days were ever the same. Even if you go to one family's home 5 days a week, every single session will look different. And I absolutely just love that. Next slide, please. So a little bit more about CAIO. We were founded in 2005 in San Francisco, but we have now expanded and we are in 7 different states and in 18 different metro areas. So I know most of you on the call are all California based. We have clients throughout the Bay Area, Sacramento, Stockton, down to Lodi, throughout LA, San Diego. If you're looking at leaving California, definitely, as you can see, we are providing services to families nationwide. Next slide. So some of the benefits of working here at CAIO is, as I mentioned, that initial training. So whether you are coming with absolutely no experience as a behavior therapist or have previously worked in the field, we provide you 40+ hours of initial training. All of our training right now is done via Zoom, whether with a live trainer or self-paced trainings. We provide the paid certification and supervision for you to sit for that registered behavior technician, that RBT certification. And then we put a huge emphasis on mentorship here at CAIO. So from day one, every single one of our employees has a mentor. The first month of your employment, you have weekly meetings with your training mentor. And then beyond that, you have monthly cohort meetings with your mentor and a BCBA. After all that mentorship, you also receive additional case-specific behavior training from your BCBA overseeing your case. We want to make sure that you feel equipped to be working with your client. And so that supervision and professional development opportunities, never subside. I do also want to mention that we have a health and safety and a diversity and inclusion committees here at CAIO. We have, we put a lot of emphasis on making sure that everybody feels included and welcomed on behalf of our team. And then also, especially now in the midst of COVID, we really want to make sure that all of our team members, but also our families' safety is kept in mind. Next slide, please. Here is just an overview as to what your career could potentially look like. Join CAIO, day one, become an RBT, receive that, certified behavior therapist within your first 90 days. Then, within a year or two, once you have really acquired the skills and you're ready to take on a little bit more of a mentorship role, become a senior behavior therapist. If you then at that time choose to, enroll in your master's program and go down the BCBA track, or if you wouldn't mind going back, thank you. We have our program supervisor position, and then you are on your way to become a BCBA. However, I don't want anyone to be shied away of saying, oh, I have to, want to be on the BCBA track in order to work for CAIO. That's absolutely not the case. ABA is a phenomenal stepping stone for so many different professions. Like I mentioned earlier, the science of ABA can really be applied across many different fields. And we have a lot of teachers, or SLPs, OTs, that use kind of ABA and CAIO as a stepping stone. And then next slide, Brett. There you go. So if you're interested, feel free to join me in my breakout room. I have additional information, on specific requirements and the application and hiring process that I would love to share with you. So if you're interested in learning more on, how you can make every moment count with us here at CAIO, feel free to share or join my breakout room, or you can also email me at michellew@caiocare.com. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. Reactions, everyone. This one's going to receive a party hat, I think. Or yeah, wonderful. Good job. And we're going to go into the next. Again, just as a reminder for everyone, after the presentations, we'll break out into these breakout rooms, and then you'll have some more kind of focused attention, asking questions directly to all the panelists. Okay. Love the engagement. Thanks for the reactions. And I believe the next is mission graduate. So let me pull that up. Told the panelists it would be easier if I did this, but probably it looks like it's not. So thanks for your patience, everyone. Let me get this situated here. All right. And now I can present mission graduates.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Diana Caracoza again. I'm a senior program director with Mission Graduates. I've been with the organization for about 8 years now. And so Mission Graduates is a nonprofit working predominantly with schools around the Mission District area in San Francisco. And we work with schools in SFUSD that target students from kinder through middle school. We currently have programming at 6 elementary sites and 3 K-8 sites. And we can go to the next slide, Brett. That's me. We had our event, unfortunately, again, like I mentioned, she couldn't make it, but we're happy to be here. Our nonprofit organization, we aim to really strive in increasing the number of K-12 students in San Francisco who are prepped and ready to go to college. And how do we do this? We really inspire and install the idea of higher education starting in kindergarten. And so we have units of learning that we implement for our students and teach them every year to inspire them for a higher education. We believe that it's important to encourage those students around us that they want to have a better future for their children. We do this through community engagement and development, and we engage the whole family. Part of Mission Graduates is not just after school program, but we also have a parent partner program that then teaches and supports the families to educate them as well as why this is important and how they can get started now to be able to provide their students with a higher education. And we believe just in equity and ensuring that we're able to support everyone, and that we encourage all of those to also give their support as well, cultivating leaders through our own examples as well. And so a lot of our staff who work as after school teachers or as directors, they are also going to school at the same time. They're talking about their experiences to our students, and just really, again, installing that little seed starting in kindergarten to really know that that's the expectation for our students, not the exception. And we work with a lot of schools that are predominantly lower income families. And so ensuring that they have someone as a role model is really important for us. So we're currently hiring for part-time and full-time after-school teachers. At the moment, we have about 15 to 16 openings across our school sites. As an after-school teacher, whether it's full-time or part-time, you would be leading a classroom of 18 to 20 students. So if you are looking to go into teaching, potentially a credential program down the road, or would like to do your credential program plus have a job also at the same time, this is a wonderful opportunity for you. You would be leading a class on your own. You would be learning a little bit about standards. When we teach and coach our staff on lesson planning, we do involve SFUSD curriculum and grade level standards so that all of your activities and lessons are catered to what students are learning during the school day as well. You would also help students with homework and assignments. You would collaborate with other of our after school teachers across our other schools. You would work closely with the school day teachers as well. And we also have a lot of professional development throughout the year. We host about 2 to 3 trainings per month. And we also have our staff and encourage our staff to participate in trainings that are provided by other organizations such as DCYF, NXL, SparkDex, Be the Change, all these organizations that we work with that also provide additional trainings for everybody. As a full-time, I think we can go to the next one. Thank you. Oh. As a full-time after-school teacher, you would be working about 30 hours a week. This includes prep time, observation time for the school day, and collaboration to prepare all of your activities. And so you gain experience working with school day district teachers, you gain experience being in the classroom with them as well, and also teach your own after-school program. You, as a part-time employee, you would work about 20 hours a week. There's a little bit less time for prep. However, your directors and school site team support with that piece. And we have all these ways that you can apply. So we have our main site, we're on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn Handshake, and we also have our QR code here. We recognize that this is a great stepping stone for a lot of our staff. Many of our teachers have joined us, then gone on to work for the school district. Sometimes they've learned so much as after school teachers that the school principals ask them to join and get a credential so that they can come and work at the school for them as well. And then we also have staff who have gone on and then done social work, gone back to school to get their master's. And we also have staff who have moved up the ladder and are leading teams of 10, 12 after school teachers themselves. So it's a great stepping stone, a great opportunity that if you are doing school and you want to also still gain experience working with students, this is a great opportunity. We are flexible with staff schedules. We recognize that many of our staff are students. We recognize that some of your classes are virtual. Some of them are taking it on site and then jumping into program. Sometimes they leave 1 or 2 times a week early to get to class. And so we recognize that, and we want to encourage all of our staff to continue their education because we're life learners. And so we'll be talking more about this in our breakout rooms. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me as well.
Give it up for Diana and mission graduates. Okay, reactions, people. Let's see. I'm going to do something different. This is a positive one. Like, wow, I'm amazed. This is my amazed face, Diana. Could I ask the group here, the panelists, all the employer presenters, for one moment, would you please provide the group with what is, in your opinion, if you could choose one skill that you're looking for, the number one skill, and why? And while I find your slide, Sabrina, the number one skill and why. So Michelle, Stacy, Sabrina, Gilead, Christina, Melissa, and Diana, just if you would provide a quick moment to reflect for the group. Thank you.
I can go. I really want to say fun, but I feel like I'm going to shoot myself in the foot on this one, but I'm going to go with it because that was my first one that came to my mind. And fun because we really want to be paired as, you know, going in and be, you know, I don't want to say the friend or a playmate, but we want our behavior therapists to go in and be fun with our kiddos so that the more fun the kids are having, the better of, you know, that you're naturally incorporating those learning opportunities for our kiddos and making that difference in their life.
For
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go first.
Okay, so we are just looking really for passionate, inspiring educators. We want our staff to just be really open to come in, put that passion in every day. As you all may know, given that we've been virtual for a year, it's been a struggle to transition back to in-person for many of our students. And so having that passion and that drive really helps you to know why you're showing up every day for these students. And if you've never taught a group of students, if you've never been in the classroom, we are okay with that. We will train you, we will support you, we will guide you, we will be co-leading with you until you're ready. But as long as you have that passion.
Okay, I can start. So for us, Kai-Ming, I think we're looking for someone with a loving heart for children and compassion. That's what we need, because we have, as Diana mentioned, right, the skills that those things we can train you on, but really the heart, the caring, the love that go into your work, that's something we really see as the most important thing. Yeah. Gabby, do you have anything to add? Gabby,
hi. Yeah, no, it's the same as Sabrina. We as a teachers, we want someone to be like compassionate and to be like dedicated to this field. It's a very challenging field, but it's very rewarding. So someone that has a passion to teach kids and to have that to prepare the kids for future studies and career. That's your place is right here.
It's really similar at Bright Horizons as well. We're really looking at attitude. So we our like go-to phrase is that we hire for attitude and we train for skill, right? So we want to find someone that has a built-in understanding of positive guidance, you know, that wants to work with kids. I think that there's a lot of people who think that this is easy, right? They're like, oh, okay, like it's like babysitting, but it's not. There's a lot more that goes into early childhood education than a lot of people think. So we really look for people who have that attitude and understanding that this isn't just babysitting.
Yeah, there are a lot of good ones that were thrown out. So I agree with all the other groups. Just to add a couple more, I would say, I think someone said having compassion for the field, for the job, and then patience also. Because, you know, when you're working with students, children, it doesn't matter what age it is. If it's like a 2 or 3 year old up to an 18-year-old, you're dealing with like an individual person who could be experiencing anything that you could possibly think of, like outside of school, outside of the program. You don't know what kind of situation or scenario that they're coming from. And so it's having patience, being able to listen. Also, as a teacher, yes, you will be speaking a lot, you'll be talking a lot, but being able to also pivot and listen to your students, listen to your families. These are their children, so they're always going to be very interested and either concerned or excited to speak to you, depending on the nature of the conversation. And so yeah, teaching in general is what would people say? It's like a labor of love. Like you have to want to do this. Like it's not something that you should just do because you want like a certain salary or you want like a certain prestige, because it should be coming from like, this is something that you are very passionate and focused on, and you want to do this, because a lot of our educators, if not all of our educators, are doing this because they want to and because they're fulfilling like some, you know, inner feeling or some like goal of theirs, and it's not some other kind of career aspiration. And so I know I'm kind of speaking for a while, so I'll just stop there.
So Brett just emailed me and said that his computer froze. So he was like, can you share your own slides? But I don't think we're next. I think Kai-Ming is next. So if you have your slides and you're able to share, I think he wants us to proceed.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. I have the slide. That's Stacy, do you mind sharing while I
Sure, give me 1 second.
while Stacy, looking for the slide, maybe I can start first. As hello again, I'm Sabrina from Kai-Ming Head Start. Stacy is the HR generalist working closely with me in the HR team. And Gabby is our regional manager. She used to work in the classroom. So if you have any question regarding like how does it look like in the classroom, feel free to ask Gabby directly. As I mentioned earlier, Kai-Ming Head Start is a nonprofit agency. We have been running the Head Start service for 46 years. We are founded in 1975, and our service is basically providing comprehensive service for children aged from 3 months to 5 years old, basically early childhood education. And the difference from, thank you, Stacy. So let's go to slide 2. Okay, who we are. So as I mentioned, we have about 46 years of history, and we are a Head Start grantee receiving funds directly from the federal, state, and the city. And we provide comprehensive service for children aged from 3 months to 5 years old in San Francisco. And what I mean comprehensive is basically in addition to early childhood education service in the classroom to children, we also provide service for their families, for the parents, grandparents, the whole family. We provide, for example, we might help the family find housing, connect them to city college, find jobs, etc. Establish family goals with them. So we provide a very much comprehensive model for them, and that's what the goal. That's the goal of Head Start. Basically, we want to break the cycle of poverty so that the whole family can thrive. So that's basically the service model. So in our centers, you will see teachers and family advocates. You're gonna see health and nutrition manager, disabilities manager, mental health consultants, we're partnering with different stakeholders to really support the family as a whole. Currently, we have full day, full year, and full day par year programs. So full day par year means if you are in the full day par year program, we're gonna have a summer break for you. The session basically we will close the classroom for summer, but full day, full year basically will run throughout the year. There is no break. Next. Some of the key numbers that might help you understand our agency. So currently we're serving 324 children with including 10% children with disabilities and special needs. Like as Michelle mentioned, you guys provide that service. We actually also serve some percentage of children with autism, and we do also work closely with this unified school district to provide those services for children with special needs. So out of the 324 children, we do have preschool age, like 3 to 5 years old. We also have infant toddlers, which is younger kids. We have both, and we have about 165 staff at this moment, including full-time and part-time staff. Currently, we have 8 locations in San Francisco. We only provide service in San Francisco, and 8 locations with 2 upcoming new sites, as you can see in the map. Give me 1 second. Okay, so with the number 9 PM Square Children's Center, which is located in Mission Bay location, that's the one that's we're actually preparing the opening in March 2022. And St. Mary, which is right next to our main office at Kearney Street in Chinatown. So we are hiring a lot of staff to prepare our new sites. Okay, so it's a lot, a lot of things we provide in terms of benefits. I just want to highlight some of this is actually one of the very, I would say very much top-notch benefit in the nonprofit world. We provide 100% medical insurance, including everything like, dental, vision, chiropractic, acupuncture. Employee do not pay a penny for their insurance. We also provide 100% for their dependents, their children up to 26 years old for their medical plan. We also provide 15% employer contribution for you after you complete 3 months of work with us. And that's an automatic contribution from our side to your retirement plan, which is unheard of. Basically, there's no matching required, and it's automatically additional funds for you. We have, of course, if you join us, you'll be eligible to receive the citywide care stipend, which is about $5,000 a year, in addition to your base pay for all teaching staff. There's additional benefit here. I don't want to go too deep. If you want more information, check out our website. We actually put all of our benefit on our website, kaiming.org. Click the career page. You're gonna see everything there. Of course, we're open for question. If you have any specific question about benefit, feel free to ask us as well. All right. Okay, so currently we are hiring a lot of teaching role, which is center position. We have a time manager position, pre-K lead teacher, infant toddler lead teacher, and pre-K assistant, infant toddler assistant. As I mentioned, we are opening 2 new sites, so we are really hiring a lot of staff here. We also have a few administration of positions open. For example, the talent development specialist and recruiting specialist and finance coordinator. Those positions are based in our main office. And those are for example, the first position, we are looking for someone that really work with the teacher and make sure, we look at the person's strength and how do we make the employee shine based on their strength. So that position is really supporting employee in the front end and kind of provide a career ladder for them within the organization. We have the QR code here. Feel free to grab your phone and scan it. It will take you directly to our career site. If you're interested, I do want to mention that in our career site, if you don't have any position you're interested now, you can actually create a job alert. You just put down your email and name. Whenever there's position, meeting your expectation, it will pop up in your email and you can get the alert. All right, next slide. The last one I want to mention about STEP. So STEP program is a workforce development program within our organization that we developed for, so far it's 3 years old, since 2018. It was originally funded by San Francisco OECE office to address the shortage of teacher in the city. So the goal is really to support. So basically the model is we hire a group of sub teachers and we share this pool with other early childhood education centers and agencies in San Francisco. So currently we have 20 agencies working with us to share this pool of subs. And if you're interested, regardless if you're agency or you are a person looking for a job, this is, this program is for you. So the minimum requirement for sub teacher to join us is 3 to 6 units. And we provide very flexible schedule and location across San Francisco. As you can see in the map, those are all of the partnering work sites that we partner with that you possibly can go to work if you join STEP. Again, Kaimi is hiring for some position, but STEP is hiring more for entry level EC teachers or people that just cannot commit to a full-time schedule. We also have a lot of retired teachers, people with children or going to school joining this program. So if you're looking for flexibility and trying to experience different type of program model, this is a great opportunity. Again, the QR code is here. Feel free to scan it if you're interested. All right, that's about STEP. And this is our contact information. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be in my team members will be in the breakout session. If you want to learn more about our program, feel free to join us. Hope to see you there. Thank you. I'm not sure if Bri is back.
Hi, everyone.
Back. Welcome
Thanks
back.
so much. What a funny thing that happens, No, apologies for that. Thanks everyone for being patient and for stepping in really quickly. Because I don't trust my computer, I'm gonna actually ask Melissa and Christina from Bright Horizons to go ahead and share the screen. Thanks again for that. And so it won't be my fault next time. Anyway, reactions for everyone, big hearts to Kai Ming, thanks again. And our final presentation, after this, we'll go into the breakout rooms. Excellent, thanks again.
All right, hello everyone. You guys can see the slides, right? All right, perfect. So Melissa will start us off, but we'll tell you a little bit about the company and then at the end about what type of positions we currently have available.
Hi everyone, as you know, I'm Melissa and Christina. So we are Bright Horizons. We were founded in 1986 and we do provide early childhood education. So preschool all the way 0 through 5 mostly. We have employer-sponsored childcare, so we do have some client centers throughout California and obviously throughout the US, and we'll go over our centers later. We also offer backup care, so like if you're sick or your primary childcare provider is sick, we provide backup assistance for those sorts of situations. We have a variety of different verticals in terms of what we do. Next slide, Christina. And we are throughout the United States, so 40 states in the US and Puerto Rico. We're also in the UK, the Netherlands, and India. And then we are the only childcare company that has been repeatedly named as one of Fortune's 100 best companies to work for. So we're super proud of that. We really take care of our employees. We want to give them the best opportunities professionally and personally, for their development. And Christina will go over our benefits in a bit. And then we also like to give back. So we do have the Bright Horizons Foundation for Children. And that helps us create bright spaces in, you know, like we have over 300 of them right now in areas like homeless shelters, community agencies, places where kids may be present, but maybe they don't have access to that type of care or, you know, just even things to play with. So that's really important to us to give back to the community and help, you know, kind of bridge that gap for people that might be having a hard time.
All right, so I'll talk a little bit about our benefits. So we assist with college degrees and ECE units. So we do offer a tuition reimbursement. We do also have, the next slide will go into it a little bit more, but we partner with some online universities to help our full-time teachers obtain their bachelor's degree at no cost to them. We have medical, dental, and vision benefits. We have a 401 retirement plan with matching. We offer paid time off. We offer pet insurance. So that's a nice little extra benefit if you have animals at home. Commuter benefit program. We have a card that you can load pre-tax to use to pay for your commuting if you're commuting. Discounts for different programs like your cell phone bill, the different gyms. You can get discounted movie tickets through our Bright Bargains webpage. And then, like I'd mentioned before, we have educational assisting. So we actually have a hotline you can call and you can talk to someone about next steps in your educational career. So the Horizons degree program is what I had mentioned before. So we partner with 3 accredited online universities, and we're able to offer the opportunity for our full-time staff to get a bachelor's degree in early childhood education for free. And that's a newer benefit. We started offering that in 2018 based on the feedback from our staff. So we were hearing that it's difficult to take in-person classes when you're working a full-time job, and also that the cost of the classes was a lot, right? It's a big investment. So we wanted to figure out the best way to support our staff. So a little bit about our curriculum. So we are Reggio Emilia inspired. We're a play-based centers. So we really believe in setting up a purposeful environment for the children, right? And that they lead in that exploration. Bright Horizons does not have its own like predetermined curriculum topics. All of our topics are emergent. So they're based on the children in that specific classroom. So you can have 2 preschool classrooms right next door to each other, and they could be studying 2 completely different topics. We're going to take whatever they're interested in, and we're going to develop a math activity, a science activity, a language activity, and something to get them really engaged. There have been a lot of studies that show that children are far more invested in their learning when they're actually interested in the topic they're learning about. All right, and we're also committed to inclusion. So Bright Horizons' overall goal is to have representation for all of our staff and children within the classroom space. So with that said, we're also aiming to have all of our centers accredited through NAEYC. So really they want to see representation in the classroom, in the books and the materials and the dolls that we play with and the clothes that go on the dolls. We want to make sure that all the children feel represented in their classroom, and, as well as our staff. So we also bring in different languages to identify toys and things like that in the classroom. And then our pandemic response. So we wanted to touch on this a little bit too. So we do still do health screenings daily for our children. So among drop off, we're taking temperatures and asking those normal questions. Do you have any symptoms? Things like that. And masks are required for children and staff. Children under the age of 2 are obviously not required to wear masks, but the staff are, and we provide those for the staff. We do not allow visitors in the center at this time. So even families don't enter the center. They're greeted by staff at the front door. That staff helps with the health screening and then gets the child acclimated into the classroom. And then as far as the vaccination, some of our client centers do require the vaccine at this point, and that's for our big clients like UCSF, Genentech. These are large biotech and health science clients. They require all the staff present to be vaccinated. However, Bright Horizons collectively as a company does not yet require, I can't say we won't eventually, but at this time, you can either be vaccinated or you'll be given the supplies for weekly testing. So you can test at home on Sundays, and then you send the results to your supervisor to see if you're cleared to return to work the next week. And then our final slide is the QR code to our careers page. So we have all types of opportunities right now. So Melissa and I talked about it earlier. We cover different territories, but amongst Melissa and my territory, we have over 60 childcare centers. So we're hiring all levels. We have substitutes that's more flexible. It could be part-time, it could be on-call. We have associate teachers. Those are teachers coming in that are newer in the field and green, maybe don't have any early childhood education units yet. Then we have our teachers, and those are typically our candidates that have the 12 core early childhood education units that the state of California requires, and at least 6 months experience working with children in some capacity. It could be babysitting, nannying, volunteer work, things like that. And then from there, there's only more room to grow. So we have lead teacher positions, we have center admin, instructional coaches that focus on curriculum, health and safety directors that focus on the licensing requirements, the directors who are really there to model, mentor, and coach the staff. And then outside of the center, there's even more opportunities. We have our own education and development department, our own human resources, which is where Melissa and I fall. I was a teacher at a center. I've been with the company since 2008. So, I mean, there's just so many opportunities to grow with this company, and they're always looking to change and grow with the culture in the outside world. And that is, I believe, all we have to share.
All right, thank you again. And some reactions. Let's see. I'm gonna give another heart because this is just so great. You're all being so generous with your time and attention, and flexible with our tech issues. Okay, excellent. So now this is what's going to happen. We're going to break out into our breakout rooms. Okay, and to do that, I want to give you a quick kind of reminder on how that looks. All right. So this is what you have, some options, right? And in that order, 1 through 5, Kai Ming, 2, Bright Horizons, 3, SF Unified School District, 4, Cayo, 5, Mission Graduates, okay? And so if you look down at the bottom of your tab there on Zoom, you'll see where it says breakout rooms. So you can select that and it'll open up another box. And from there, you can join any one of these. And in fact, during the next 15 or so minutes, you can pop into one, you can leave and rejoin another. Okay, so this is the opportunity for you to kind of treat this as if it were a job fair, walking from one table, one employer to the next. But if you want to take some time to get to know one of these particular organizations, now's that chance. All right.
Hey, Brett.
Yes.
You're going to have to open the breakout rooms first. We can't do it from our end.
Right. Let's see where I went with this. All right. Breakout rooms have been
I just opened them, Brett. Everyone should be able
Oh,
to.
I noticed that. Nee, thank you. Thanks a lot. And just a reminder, when you click on the breakout rooms, it opens up a new table, and you'll see if you put your cursor on, I'm getting some messages that says
Nothing is showing up.
Okay, let's see if I can close it again, and we'll try open all rooms. Does anyone have that?
No.
Okay, I'm getting a message. My settings didn't show that I had to assign anyone, but I could change that briefly. And I apologize for that. So let's take a moment, and while I might look at this, how about we just open up the room again for some general Q&A.
Folks can also just put in the chat where they want to go, and I can go ahead and assign if that works too.
That's a good solution. Yeah, thank you. Hey, everybody. So what I'm noticing is that, thank you, Nee, for jumping in. I know that she's going to have to join another meeting. Thank you. So Gilead asked if you could help, but I believe I can change these settings. What I need to do is I kind of cancel all the rooms and restart them, and that way you don't have to be assigned. I thought I was doing the correct way before on my settings, but evidently I did not. I apologize for that. So what I'm going to try to do now, if you've already begun your breakout room, is I'm going to cancel all these, recreate them, and you can choose for yourself. Okay.
I have a question maybe for all of us. I'm an international student, so maybe before even being signed up for a room, I kind of have a question. What is the best program I could choose after school to get a working permit, connect with the green card, I guess?
Hey, Brett, we just all got pulled back into the main room.
Thanks, Michelle. I think what I'm attempting to do is recreate those same rooms. That way everyone can choose. A little bit of back and forth, some Zoom do-si-do. I apologize. And we had a question from the room about getting as an international student. Not sure if anyone else could answer that directly, but all of the breakout rooms are going to be closing. I'm going to reopen them, and we shall find some success. Again, thanks for your patience here.
To answer the international student question, I would suggest that you connect with the international office, but typically after your program, you're allowed to do OPT, and that will allow you to have work authorization. But while you're in school, you should only work on campus unless your program has a work component. But go ahead and connect with the international office at the school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey everyone, I think what I'm seeing is that again, you can open up, but I believe, can you try joining again? If you're not able to join, then we may
There's like no option.
Yeah, that's
at the bottom.
Yeah, that's strange. I apologize for that. Well, so we have 60 strong people here today still want their questions to be answered. My computer froze. Breakout rooms hate me today, but you are still here and you deserve to get some questions answered. Here's what I'm going to propose. Either we really attempt to try this and break out, or we could throw questions up against everyone and see. You could ask the questions in the chat, like others have suggested, and we can maybe just kind of popcorn around. I apologize that this is not the way that I anticipated. So,
hey, Brett.
Yeah.
It's Christina. I was going to say that Melissa and I can actually share a Microsoft Teams link in the chat, so people who want to connect with us can just go there outside of Zoom.
And then if you want to give us a time when we should come back here for closing, like we can put ourselves on mute here and go do that with anyone who's interested, and then come back for you.
Yeah, we can have our own Zoom too. We can put our link here. Whoever want to come to Kaiming, they just click that Kaiming link.
I can do the same for Kaio.
Yeah, so maybe we just all kind of do our own and then reconvene maybe.
Yeah, like at 10 till or something, just
Yeah.
to keep it simpler, you know, so that people don't have to listen to questions for programs they may not be, you know, wanting to pursue.
Thank you. Again, I appreciate the collaboration. If that would sound like it would give people the opportunity to choose that they want and go forward that, I'm seeing some head nods and some comments in the chat. Thank you for your flexibility again and willingness to try this and make it work. So if those employer panelists can provide your own video conferencing platform where you can invite folks directly. And I know this means leaving this room and going into another one, right? Leaving this Zoom session and entering a new one. I'll keep this one open. And why don't we keep one employer on this session? So if anyone has not yet, it looks like Gilead, maybe you haven't added one yet. Would SFUSD, could you stay here and we can keep folks on this main session? That means
I can stay here.
Wonderful. And Michelle, thank you for that. Mission graduates, Kai Ming. All right, those others, you're welcome to join. We're going to stay here for San Francisco Unified School District. And
when do we come back?
We come back in 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, thank you. 10:50. Got it.
And Gilead, if you want, you're welcome to start chatting, or we can wait till folks we can make a.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like some people still kind of shifting, but I'm here to take any questions around either certificated opportunities or early childhood education opportunities, outlook, any general questions around like SFUSD, just let me know. Any question, I'll do my best to answer.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. My name is VM. I'm a student at City College of San Francisco. I have a question about the swing application that provides us the flexibility to work as a substitute teacher. Okay, I need more information about that application, how to apply, how to use it. And we have to earn all the units, the 12 units to start working with this application. Thank you.
Yeah, is it one of those options that I was mentioning, the substitute, like the paraeducator that I had mentioned on the slide deck? Is that what you were referencing? Because we have substitute teachers and then we have like substitute paraeducators. So they're two different things. So I just want to make sure before I start answering,
the substitute teacher.
Okay, so substitute teacher is kind of a level up. And so in order to qualify as a substitute teacher in the district, you're going to need a bachelor's degree, and then you're going to have to provide like the basic skills. There's a couple of ways to qualify for that. So one, you can take this exam called the CBEST exam, and it'll test your writing skills, your English skills, and your math skills. Or if you've taken the SAT or ACT exam, there's certain minimum scores that you need to achieve in order to kind of waive that test. But the biggest thing is you just need a bachelor's, you need proof of basic skills. And then if you meet those two requirements, then the sub team will start the onboarding process and then get you into the system and then kind of talk to you about what are you looking for. Are you looking to sub broadly? Are you looking to substitute teach high school, middle school, elementary school, and that sort of thing?
What if the bachelor degree is from a different country? Is it okay?
Yeah, and so if your bachelor's degree is out of the country, then you would go through this process. It's called a foreign transcript evaluation. And I can share this information with you. Pretty much you have to contact one of these specific agencies to have them go over your transcript, and then they'll give you a US equivalency of your transcript. And so they'll let us know like, okay, this bachelor's degree is the equivalent of a bachelor's in this subject area. If sometimes, just to kind of give you a heads up, it doesn't equally match up. And so a bachelor's degree in another country might not be a bachelor's in the US equivalency. And so you might, in that case, have to take some classes or gain a bachelor's degree again. But it's really dependent on the organization kind of going over your transcripts and then they give us a very official document that kind of lays out exactly what you qualify for. And then that would be the first step. So I would recommend doing that step first, because that can actually take a few months, if not longer sometimes. So I can share that.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have maybe a question kind of pertaining to the same situation. I am in Fresno, and I'm not sure if it's different from county to county, but I'm currently enrolled in my education program at the city college, and I have over 90 units, and I'm currently enrolled in 6 units. And so I was told that I could possibly start the substituting process because I have over 90 units and the other things that I have as well. Is that something I could start?
So we have subs that sub for like different classifications. And so if you were looking to be a substitute teacher, like in a classroom, and you're like filling in for like the teacher of record, then you will need a bachelor's degree, like you'll need your official degree. If you wanted to sub for like in a paraeducator role or some other kind of non-certificated role, then there are various opportunities for that. But to be an actual sub at a school for a teacher, then you need to have like an official bachelor's degree to get the process started.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions.
Gilead, could you speak a little bit to the teacher pathway, the sort of alternative to the brick and mortar schools, the traditional brick and mortar schools like SF State and USF?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So if anyone in this space is looking to become a teacher, like in the near future or in the far future, SFUSD does have pipeline programs like that are kind of supported by the district, both financially and a few other means. And so sometimes it can be pretty demanding or overwhelming to kind of just go out there on your own and find a teaching credential program, take your tests, enroll, and that sort of thing. And so the district has a few various pipeline programs for specific subject areas. And those include, if you want to be like a multiple subject teacher, which is an elementary school teacher, a special education teacher, math, science, kind of like either our high volume areas or our hard to fill areas. There are various programs within the district, within SFUSD, that provide lots of support and guidance throughout that process. A big kind of caveat to that is your agreement to kind of work in the district for a set amount of years afterwards, after completing. So anywhere from, I believe it's 3 to 5 years. So if you enroll in the program, you receive the support from SFUSD, then you also commit to working in the district from anywhere from 3 to 5 years, which usually people, if they're coming into SFUSD, that is the kind of the overall goal, to work in the district. So it doesn't tend to be a problem. But we just like sharing that information up front, just so people are aware and they kind of understand that kind of going in. But so we have, and we work very closely with SF State, with USF, with Stanford, Berkeley. And so a lot of these kind of big local schools where we have close partnerships with them. So if that is something that you're interested in, I can share more information around those programs with anyone who's interested. But yeah, I think that's all I had to say on that.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sangin. I already put my questions into the chat. And can you tell me what is the difference between paraeducators and instructional aides?
So they're similar. So they kind of they fall under the same umbrella. It's just the actual work that you're going to do is a little bit different. So a paraeducator is going to work primarily in a special education class alongside a special education teacher. And so it's almost like you're going to be the assistant in that classroom to that special education teacher. An instructional aide is more broad. Like it could sometimes be in a special education setting, or it can just be in a general kind of classroom. But in terms of how to qualify for them and all the different kinds of like the pay and everything for that, they're exactly the same. It's just one is more general, and then one is specifically tied to special education classes.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have the starting salary for the para aide? I mean, I'm sorry, para educator.
I can share that with you. I don't, there's a whole different team that kind of manages the paraeducation team because I'm on the certificated team. So I can share that information with you. And like their website is the best resource just because that breaks down everything, and we actually get that. And while I'm getting that, if anybody else has any questions, please feel free. It looks like we still have about 5 more minutes or so. Drop this in the chat.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. So I ask in other programs if they're supporting international students, and I've been told no. So I wonder if your program is supporting international students.
Yeah, great question. So for all roles within SFUSD, you will have to provide proof of valid work authorization. So the district doesn't support that process. And so you're going to have to be able to secure that on your own. And then if it's something that's temporary, like if it's like a 1-year permit or, you know, a few years time, then you're going to be able to have to secure whatever necessary things are to keep it going. The district is kind of like hands off that approach at this time.
That's kind of bummer. Like I'm really lost in this because I feel like for international people, like we pay a lot of money to get education here and everything. And I just keep hearing, oh, you have to, you know, like fight this kind of on your own after getting a degree. And I don't really know like how do I get working permit if everyone keeps saying you need to do it on your own to get a job. So
yeah, I definitely understand your frustration. It's kind of like based on my own research, it's kind of like the public sector versus the private sector. The private sector is much more willing and they're financially able to support people through this process versus the public sector is working more on a more limited budget. They're not at leisure to just kind of offer up funds for this process because it can be pretty expensive, the employer. And so honestly, I think it just comes down to that. It's the public versus the private sector. I know some school districts do provide support in that space, but I haven't found too many. I feel like it's more common that they don't provide that and they require the person to secure it on their own. Versus like if it was a private company, then they're more likely to be able to provide financial like sponsorship on that side.
Okay, so I need to look for private programs rather than public.
Yeah, depending on the type of position or type of role that you're looking for. And so, and like I said, there are some school districts that provide visa sponsorship assistance. I don't know if there's many in the Bay Area because I feel like I've kind of checked the major ones in the Bay Area and they're similar to kind of SFUSD, but it's something that it's a very common question that we get whenever we do events or just in our email inbox. And just unfortunately at this time, that's kind of what the procedure is with SFUSD.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I really appreciate it.
Looks like we might have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Anybody, anything around? We could talk about early childhood education. I think that's what the majority of the presenters were, or if you still have more questions around other groups, that's fine.
I have one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, to work in a preschool as a teacher assistant, do we have to finish all the 12 units or we can start working with just 6 units, for example?
Yeah, no, so it changed. So a few years ago, we took lower or lesser units, but you do need to meet the unit requirements. So you need to have all those units in order to come into positions.
Okay, thank you.
Are we back?
Looks like people are coming back in.
Thank you, Gilead, for making that happen and accessible and going with the flow. This would never happen in the real world. Like you can't just like close the door on someone, you know?
I've been there. It's challenging, and we do appreciate everyone's patience. It's a whole different atmosphere working virtual versus in person, and so we've been there. So no worries, Brett. It definitely happens.
You know, and I thought I crossed my T's and dotted my I's, and evidently, you know, something else is in control. So,
Sometimes it's just the technology.
Or I made the mistake, and I'll own up to that too. But anyway, for those that are joining us again for our kind of conclusion, this is just a chance to share what you've learned, reflect, ask final questions. I'll drop the survey in the link in the chat also. Your feedback is welcome.
So if I add my email to the chat, can I get my certificate?
Howard, what I'll do is for all those who attended today, I'll send a follow-up email, and including those slides from all the presenters.
Great.
And from that, either I'll request that everyone who wants a certificate of attendance to respond to me, which is likely the case, or to fill out a quick form that just highlights that. So yeah, but yeah, you should expect follow-up communication from me, Howard.
Smashing, thank you.
What a dedicated crew we have here today. So happy. so happy that you all are here still. And so yeah, as people kind of come in, wrapping up their previous breakout sessions, then we'll just kind of put a final touch on this. One moment. So if you're rejoining us again, I'm going to add in the chat the conference evaluation. So please give us your feedback, and we appreciate that. I'll follow up with everyone in the email also, all attendees, and send this as well. So no rush to do it now, but just wanted to bring your attention to it. And so I guess as we're kind of coming back, does anyone have any direct questions or reflections on the whole? Anything that as presenters you found interesting today from the audience, or the audience would like to address? And we have just a couple more minutes before we kind of wrap up. I'll just put this back on the screen so we can kind of see where we are. And that's my contact. If you have any questions about today, about the slides, you can reach out to me directly. I'll be forwarding those from each of the presentations back in a follow-up email with the conference evaluation that I also added in the chat. And I think, you know, this has been very memorable. There's a lot of great things out, you know, learning outcomes obviously too that you've taken from today and attending. If you were able to join different breakout rooms, wonderful. Hopefully you've made some connections. You're that much closer to applying to the job, or you're on the way to building your network. Any questions, final comments from anyone? And for all the presenters, yeah, go ahead and add your contact again. I see that from Christina and Giovanni from Kaiming, Bright Horizons, Christina and Melissa. Thank you for doing that. And then again, just adding the conference evaluation for people who are coming back into the meeting. Okay, now the final request I have is choose your favorite reaction. And let's see, there's so many others. This is how I was feeling at one point today. Frustrated from tech glitches. Any other reactions out there? Give me your best. It's a Friday. How about some shades? Yeah, there you go. Elizabeth, I see you too. And Gabrielle, you may have a question, or is that a reaction? I think you're on mute, Gabriela.
Yeah, sorry, that's a reaction.
Doris, I love the party. Thank you for that. Sabrina, big party too. You guys are so great. And there are 46 of us. So we went from 75 down to, we've been going around, right? So all of us are just committed to the goal. And I know that we're wrapping up here. So if this is it, this is the moment to make your final impressions, get connected. Star, thank you, Michelle, for that. It's a big star. Any other final reactions? Let's see. I'm going to, I'm going to put on my crown. Yeah. Tanoya put on her paper with pencil. That's great. Study hard. Yeah. Become a teacher.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day and week.
Thanks, Doris. Thanks for joining us. So if there isn't anything else, if I'm just the same person talking, thank you again for listening. Thanks for being here. And I will follow up with an email, conference evaluation, all the slides from the presenters. And yeah, this has been an unforgettable session. So hopefully you're going to walk away with something that you didn't have before. And yeah, thanks again for all of the presentations, Kaiming, Bright Horizons, Kayo, SFUSD, and Mission graduates. So round of applause. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Brett, for organizing this.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So this is the end. Wan Li and Hedit, I'm gonna go ahead and close down, unless if you have any last minute questions for me. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. Have a wonderful Friday.